But what most people don't understand is that there's certain intangible elements that go into not only attracting people to a team, but people taking pride in the team's success. So Mark did a great job, of all the numbers and stuff like that. And I'm not going to talk to you about numbers or standard stuff like that. I'm going to talk to you about this one thing that I truly believe is missing in the company today. That the original founders had, Josh, that caused it to get to the size and success that we enjoy today. And I don't know why people don't talk about it today. And I don't know if it's because of compliance we can't talk about it. I don't know if people forgotten about it. But in this locker room, we're going to talk about it, right? Because I believe that this generation, we millennials, right? But I believe that our generation catches this one thing that the original founders had, this company will grow 10 times. We got 130-some licensed people. We can grow this sucker to 500,000 people, a million people. If we get this one thing right, it ain't 10 things, it's one thing, right? So I got my board up here, because I'm going to draw some stuff up here for y'all, right? Because we've been on this tour, right, all around the country, stuff like that, and everybody's got this. Y'all see this board?
Yeah, sure.
And we got, and everybody wants to know how to get big, and so even though we go to speak and teach, one of the things I'm always doing when we go to fast start schools is I'm always looking to learn something. I'm always looking to learn something, right? I'm nice to teach. I'm always looking to learn. So one of the things I found out that's different from the company that we have today versus the original founders is this, right? So watch this. I use my blue one for these blue. So here's the thing, right? So they got this divide right now with people in the company today, right? And on this side, everybody's trying to figure out, man, look, how do I get big, right? But on this side, everybody's trying to figure out how do I get independent. And I don't mean like independent, like a field train. I'm talking about like financially independent, right? This is going to make sense to y'all in a minute. Watch this. So you say, well, Twine, why is that a divide? So you got a percentage of people in the company that's trying to figure out how do I get big from an organization. And then you got the other side of people that's trying to figure out how do I become financially independent. And one of the biggest problems in the company today, Rob, is that we put a divider in between getting big and becoming financially independent. And so the way people build businesses today, it's like it's two totally separate entities. Right. So you got people who have get big, then it's more recruitment and license and distribution and team fight and all that kind of stuff. But then there's another side that says, well, guess what? I don't necessarily have to do all that. Dealing with people like Mark was talking about and dealing with people with attitude and stuff like that. If I go build any kind of business, I can build a smaller business today, have great assets under management. If I build the assets, I don't have to deal with people's attitudes, right? Which is what coaches have to deal with. But guess what? I still can become financially independent. But I'm going to do it small. And I say, I figured something out. Here's the problem with people today. We've separated it. But guess what, Mark? With the original people, guess what they did? Who's going to help me? Guess what they did in the beginning? Watch this. It wasn't a separation. So this is you, right? This is financially independent. I'm going to call it FI for the sake of time and spelling. But watch this. The way they did it back then was, watch this. This is how it looked back then. The way you get from where you are to becoming financially independent is you have to get big.
Good.
That was what all wins so, right? When people in the AL win, they say, guess what? AL wins gave people 3 goals. Number 1, you gotta get to RVP.
Come on.
That was step number 1, right? Step number 2, you gotta help them get to RVP, build 7 to 10 first generation RVPs. That was step number 2. Step number 3 was you help those 7 to 10. Get 7 to 10, right? That's step number 3. You got to hire up 399 RVPs, and if each RVP averaged $10,000 premium in their base shop, you'd override over $4 million in premium a month, and you'll be in a position to make over $300,000 a month, and then you can become financially independent. In the book, they got a section called ownership, right?
Right.
The A.L. Williams way. It's the Bible how to get big. And in thing of ownership, he runs that outline now. 3 things: go RVP, build 17, help 17, get 17. And he runs the numbers, right? And in the ownership thing, it shows you how to build a hierarchy with me, and it shows you how to get the 4 million, 400 RVP, that was 10 something on the big, but you get $300,000 a month. And then you can have the ownership in the life that you want. Today, ownership is $300,000 a year. Help. To get the ownership today, you don't have to have no RVPs. But what was sold back then, 7 to 10 to get 7 to 10, look at the difference. 400 of them get you to $300,000 a month ownership. Today, you just got to have an RVP contract. You don't have to have no leadership. But as long as your income goes to $300,000, you can still have the same ownership. So guess what that does from a psychological standpoint? Man, let me teach you something. If you give human nature an out to do less work to get the same result, guess what? They're going to take it. Right? And so I said, okay, well, how did they do it, right? And so, I did an intense study of this stuff. Like, what did they have? That's something I'm always asking myself, right? What did they have? Because one of the things we don't do a great job of as millennials, I'm talking about my generation, is we don't do a great job of studying the past. And I don't think we're gonna really be able to take advantage of how powerful this company can be for our kids and our grandkids if we don't really study the past and the history of the company. That's one thing I tell my young people all the time. Yeah, we're gonna teach all the fundamentals and all that kind of stuff, but if you really want to understand how powerful this company can be, you have got to spend time studying the history. How it was built, what was the purpose, what was the type of people that they had, because you can't do opposite of what they did, but then try to get as big as they got. You understand that? And so watch this. I did this thing on history, and I went back to 1977. That's when the company started, right? Right? Here's my question to you. In 1977, how many people did they have? 85. Right? 85. Here's a question, and maybe you may know it, maybe some people that was around back then had it. Watch this. How big was the home office in 1977? Everybody know that? What's that? So it's 85 people, no home office. That's 77. Today, how big is the home office? How many square feet? 360. So they started with no home office, 85 people. Today, we got a 300,000 square foot home office. That makes sense, right? Yeah. How many licenses do we have in there? 130,000. They had 85. We got a 300,000 square foot office. They had nothing. Here's a question. In 1977, how many $100,000 earners did they have? None. How many $1 million earners did they have? None. Today, the company is pushing to get to the first $100 million earners by convention, right? We got over 3,000 people that make over $100,000 a year, but when it started, they all had, guess what? 0, right? Here's a question I always ask people. How big was Art Williams in 1977? Who was he to the industry? And listen, not the legend we know. Not the god of business that we know today. How big was he in 1977? Guess what? He was us. Always in 1977 was a lot of people in this room today. That's right. A lot of people have more codes in their day shop today that he had when he started the business. No proof of success. No proof of this thing was going to work. One of the things he always saw was, man, I don't know if this thing's even going to last. But if we do, it's going to be the biggest thing ever. And I'm leading you down a path of stuff that you got to pay attention to on how we going, because here's my mindset is right now. I'm behind with Josh. What I'm thinking about right now, man, this company's been around 41 years, and I'm thankful for it because it takes care of me. But listen, I need this thing to last another 41 years. Okay. Because if this thing don't last another 41 years, guess what? If my grandkids don't get to experience what I experienced, what I'm experiencing right now, does that make sense? So we need to start thinking on a major level, right? So what they had, that's one thing that they had, right? And I'm gonna read this to you. I'm gonna read it to you. I think it's important to know. But it's from the A.L. Williams and the A.L. Williams deal, and he's describing the type of people that they had and stuff like that. And he, when he talks about it, he's talking about a company of destiny. Look what he said. He said, listen, it's important that the people of A.L. Williams never forget the principles and traditions that our company was founded on, right? So I believe we're unique in business, but it's not only important that we win, but it's important how we win, right? He said we're unique because our commitment to doing what's right for the consumer and delivering on our commitments to our people. But look what it says, when A.L. Williams was founded in February 10, 1977, we didn't have a lot going for us in a traditional sense, which a lot of people in this room today, right? Look what it says, we had no money, we had no administration, we had no support, not even name. But what we did have was a concept that was right for the consumer, but we also had a dream. One of the reasons why a lot of people that's in the same start spot won't get big that fast like they did is because we don't have a dream of taking over something. See, most people come to America today and all they want to do is use the opportunity to make a living. But the company wasn't built for people that just simply wanted to make a living. The company was built for people who wanted to be somebody, guess what? And they wanted to become legendary for their family, right? And so they joined in this fight. And so watch this. So they had this deal, and one of the things he talks about is, that the original founders, guess what? They had a special spirit. That's what I'm getting to. They had a spirit, and that's what separated them from everybody else. There was a certain spirit that they had that we tried. People want to duplicate. That's why these other companies came out and they tried to duplicate what we did and all this kind of stuff. And all the companies always crashed because they don't understand it was one thing that A.L. Williams people had that caused that thing to go from 85 people in 1977. Watch this, 225,000 people in 12 years. You know what we're gonna talk about a lot? The speed at which it got there. We always talk about the number. Listen, from 77 to 84, this was a 7-year run. A lot of people in this room have been in America longer than that, been in 20, 30 years. Oh, we didn't have a 30-year career. He had a 12.
Yep.
Listen, he started 77 and was sold in 89.
Yep.
So I started saying, wait a minute, we got to start talking to people not just about how to get big, but we got to start talking to people about how to get big fast. Because they went from nothing to number 1 in 7 years. And then in 5, they became, they ran the table, and in 5 he sold, it became a billionaire. So I said, well, how do you get, it's one thing to get big, but how do you get big fast? And we're going to build a team. What does a team have to possess? What type of spirit does a team have to possess if we're going to get a ton of people to play our game? That's what I realized. And I learned it from school. This is I call it, the lost art in America today is the lost art. The lost art is the lost art. He was great at this. And watch this. I met him one time. He does this thing now he does, and he brings people to the Highlands. I don't know if anybody ever had a chance to do that. I met him one time. Never got a meeting, but it was like the celebrity deal, sitting on the chair, him and Angela, and you get a picture. It's like a big old deal, but But I feel like I know him though.
Yep.
I read so much about him, I feel like I know him. But watch this. This one spirit of how you get big, right? Because we talk about numbers all day, but guess what? Numbers with no spirit are going to become irrelevant when you're dealing with people. Here's the spirit that they had. Watch this.
Yep.
And here's what people don't understand about team building. Oh, we didn't say, guess what? How did we do it? We took the boring, dull, industry of financial services, and we turned it into a football game. That's what he did. People don't talk about that was the secret. It sounds simple, but it was so big. Because guess what? In order to get a mass group of people to come together for one common cause, listen to me, you have to have a us, or you have to create a us versus them component or spirit. If there's no enemy, if there's no opponent, then the concept of team building makes no sense. And I don't think people understand it. Everybody talk about recruiting, everybody talk about team building, but if you talk about recruiting and team building, listen, we don't want people, everybody wants good people, true or false?
Right.
Okay, well guess what good people, talented people want to know from you when you study something? What do you need my talent for? See, when you recruit, you got to ask yourself, they may not ask you that verbally, but you got to be yourself. That's what everybody wants to know, man. You want me on your team, right? I'm a bad son. You want me on your team, but you got to tell me why, though. Why do you want me to give everything I got? Why do you want me to change my whole world around? Why do you want me to change the way I look, the way I dress, change my clothes, change my circle, change my friends, change my mind? I I don't read, you want me to read, you want me to self-develop, you want me to do all this crap, you want me to come to me, you want me to train, you want me to take tests, do licenses, all this kind of stuff, deal with people that don't like me, take rejection, take doubt, take fear. Why am I doing it? If I gave my life, if I did everything he told me to do, what are the stakes we playing for? See, one of the things the LWs people have that people don't talk about. I don't know if LW is important, but it is. All Williams saw that if everybody played the game, we will become number one. Here's a question I got from you in the room. How much time do you spend in telling your people we're fighting to become number one? I don't give a damn if it's a district. We're going to become number one district in the state. I don't care if it's division. I don't care if it's an RVP, especially if you're RVP. How much time do you spend teaching your people? Now listen, the reason why I want you on the team ride, not because it's about your family, your goals, and all that kind of crazy stuff. No, it's about us becoming number one. That we don't like them. Do you understand that? Do you know in sports, one of the most popular weeks in sports saying is rivalry week? Anybody watch college sports? Man, ain't nothing more popular and draws more attendance when this team goes against this team and it is a bloodbath. People love it. And so when people are building a day, we got this Care Bear. Care Bear kind of mind, and nobody's talking about us first down. But everybody got fired up about getting big. But if I ask you, who are you competing with? Like, why do you need 100 people? Like, think about this. Any military, watch this. This is going to happen. Any military people here? Military? Military? Can I get a military person to stand up? I want to ask you a question. Military. You in the military? Okay, anybody currently in the military? Okay, I got a question for you, right? We appreciate the service that you give, keeping us safe. Seriously. You know, that's a good time. It's a help with getting people. Because we got to start thinking, how do I get 100 people? This is the attitude you got to have. How do I get 100 people? We know it's going to go through one, but if we're going to get big, big don't start under 100 people. We got to start thinking, how do I get 100 people to show up and want to play on a high level? So I'm going to ask you a question, right? You're military, right? Let me ask you a question. Give me the top three reasons why one country would want to go to war with another country. What causes war?
To protect their own country.
From what?
From the enemy.
Doing what?
Destroying their country. Or taking over their country.
So war happens. One thing is, war happens when what? When does America say we're going to war? With what?
When someone's threatening their country.
Threatening our country. Pretty much we under attack. And what they trying to do is?
Take over.
Okay, so war happens when another country is trying to take over or trying to attack another country, right? Any other reasons why America will go to war? Okay, so if America wants to bully somebody and go take over their stuff, then we go there. Okay, watch that. But look, I'm helping y'all something. The number one reason you said is because the only reason we go to war is if we're under attack. And when America feels under attack, that's what we got to recruit more. We got to get more people. Why? Because we're in a war now. It's a battle, and we're going to need to have the strongest line of defense to prepare for what they're going to bring us, right? That makes sense. Why do you want 100 people? Listen, we under attack, we got to defend ourselves. And the more people we have, the stronger our defense will be. That makes sense why you need 100 people. On the opposite side, you know what else makes sense why you need 100 people? Because we want to take over that. And the more people we have, the faster we can take it over and make it ours. Am I right? Yeah. The two things always sold versus us versus them was, guess what? They don't like us and they don't want us to do business. Yep. Right. So we got to go get an army of people to help protect the concept, right? Because what we teach is right. What we teach saves lives to change lives. And we need 1 trillion people to go carry that message. And they don't want us to do it, but what they do to families is crap. And we got to build a line of defense. Right. Yeah. And here's the good side. But when we go at them, we have the power to take them over. And they did. Industry had 207,000 people. In 12 years, all A.L. Williams had over the same amount of people. All because of this one. Listen, they had good people, but you don't get good people without creating that us versus them spirit. You don't get lots and lots of people to want to do something on a big time level without that spirit. See, everybody talks about, man, I want to get big, I want to do something special. Yeah, but if you don't talk, especially somebody like me, if you don't tell me that, if you don't tell me how big the stakes are, If you don't tell me, man, if I go get, if you don't tell me, man, if I get my all, if I get my time, if I get my energy, man, what is the glory of what we do? How big is it going to be? He was a master at that, telling people that if you gave your life and if you gave everything, listen, I don't know if we're going to make it. But if we do, it's going to be big. Think about that. How do you get multiple people to buy into, I don't know if we're going to make it? Secret about humans. A lot of humans love doing stuff for the thrill. And see, when you're in a war, when you're in a fight, listen, it's not about the money. It ain't about the money, right? No, it's about the thrill. Why do people love sports? It's the thrill. Every Sunday, guess what? We might get out the highest kick, but man, if we get everybody playing on the same day, guess what? I believe we can whip them. Any Cowboys fans in here? Oh, yeah! Apologize for that. Jeez. But guess what? No, here's what's funny. You know what they call fans in sports? Die-hard. Why are you a die-hard fan? Like, die-hard is some interesting characteristics of a sports fan. What is a die-hard for me? Guess what? I'm all for my team. I got the jersey, I got the socks, I got the gloves, I got the hat, I got the beanie when it's cold, I got the over, listen, I'm ready for every change of weather that this team has. When it's raining, I got my Dallas Cowboy raincoat, I got the boots, I got the decal on the wall. I am a die-hard fan. I don't matter how good this team is, how bad it is, you can count on me to represent my team. And I was asking, well, how much ownership do you have in the Cowboys? I don't do it for ownership. You know, how much money do you make from their ticket sale? I ain't about that. That's not why I like the Cowboys. Right? How many plays do you make for the Cowboys? How many first downs do you get for the Cowboys? How many passes do you throw? How many blocks do you make for the Cowboys? None. I mean, it's not about that. Well, what it's about? I feel like they need me in the stadium, though. Right? Because when them come here, guess what every fan who doesn't make plays says? We got to protect our house. How many people in your bake shop have the we got to protect our house attitude?
Right.
Come on.
And it ain't that they don't have it. That's what they always do. That's what they have. We got to protect our company. What we do is right. And I don't care if we got to have an enemy confrontation. We'll do it. And we don't care. They had to go through seasons where people weren't getting paid. How do you get people get paid every day? We can't keep them. Let us say people get paid every day. We can't keep it. They had the season where people wouldn't get paid. They kept them. How is that? Because that spirit is that powerful.
Yeah.
It's the thrill of the fight. Man, we might get beat, so what? I love the game, and if we get beat, guess what, Josh? We're going to do it again, and we're going to go after another month. We got people get qualified last month. The company put a bonus for future RVP. They didn't get it. But you know what a non-fighting person going to say? Oh, well, I got one for me. But you know what the competitor's going to say? Let's run it again. Let's do it again. Let's go see if I can do it again.
Come on.
But if you don't, listen, if you don't have or create that us first them spirit, do not expect to get super duper big through all the ups and downs of the business. It's the sport. It's the thrill of victory. It's the agony of defeat. People think that stuff runs people away. No, it runs the wrong people away, but it attracts the superstar. It attracts the star. Somebody like me, somebody like Mike Thompson, somebody like Josh Husband. We love it.
Yeah.
We ain't into the guarantees, no, we into the possibilities. See, champions are into possibilities.
Come on.
Luke Chumps are into guarantees.
That's good,
So
babe.
competition does, it creates that. And as I close, I'm gonna run out of time. As I close, I just want to give you this. Here's an idea. And this is an idea. And I'm off the stage. You said with Twine, it's different. It's not the same company. We got more regulations now. We can't attack people like we used to attack people in old days. We know, I'm happy, we're a public company now. We got lawyers. We can't post that. No, don't say that. Got to disclaim that. Right?
Right.
So I understand what you're saying, and I get it, but it's a different time. No problem. Maybe we can't do what they did publicly, but let me help you. If we're going to go from 130,000 people to 500,000 people, if we can't create that spirit publicly, then let me help you out. You got to create it internally.
Yeah.
It's the only way that people
will come together from all walks of life for the sake of the team. Yeah. Not for the sake of my own pocket. No, for the sake of the team. You want to tell you how powerful sport is? Even if you was making $200,000 a year, Sandy, guess what? But the team was number 8. If your $200,000 don't matter.
He preached that.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, even if your life will be number 8. I want to be number what? 1. So I know you make $300,000, but we number 8. You know what it's going to force you to do? Go double the size of your organization to help move the numbers so that we can get close to number 1. So that might bring your income from 300 to 3 million.
Yeah.
So you say, how do you create a return? I'm getting out there, I'm off. Y'all gonna remember this day in Dallas. Here's what I think would be cool. I don't know if the company ever do it. But you know what I think would be cool? If they created a competition, Rob, of state to state. Like listen, this is cool. I'm Louisiana, right? But what if it was like Louisiana, and I'm using Louisiana versus Texas. Georgia versus Florida. California versus Illinois. And what if we had a business competition where it was state to state? You know what it would do? It would force all the leaders in that one state to come together and force everybody to play up. So then you would look at who's the leadership in Louisiana? Who's the big dogs over there? Well, who we got in Texas? Shoot, we don't have enough. Man, it would create such a, we got to get more people's spirit and drive and fun. And then when we get to the next trip, when we get to the next convention, man, we had a competition in Louisiana and Georgia. Man, when we get the television from Louisiana come on stage and they hoist the trophy. You know how much pride the state would take?
Right.
Yeah, it may never happen. But just remember, if you can't create this publicly no more, the only way to double, triple the size of this company, you got to create it internally. Hey, T, I love y'all.